guys, welcome back to Clockwork and Noodles for episode 20 of Requiem of the Rose King. There are 4 episodes left. We are approaching the sad conclusions. Nearing towards us, the Shakespearean tragedy is upon us. Every turn and twist now is more daggers in the back, daggers in the heart. This episode literally had me it was painful, physically painful to see everything going so wrong and leading to that just dark conclusion at the end of the episode. Before we get going, make sure you guys are subscribed. We are aiming for 1k of subscribers. That way we can do live streams, we can talk about anime of the past, talk about cool anime, and just generally do more interactive stuff as a channel, because I have big hopes for this channel and I really want to start doing something a little bit different with it. We had a delay. I am back from con now. I'm very excited to get going. There are no more planned delays for the rest of the season, so rejoice. I will be bringing to you on time all of the breakdowns from now on. So let's get going. Episode 20. This is it. Initially at the start, I was very excited because I thought we were deviating from the princes in the tower. It could still happen, and I have a feeling it's actually going to come from Lucifer's hand. I was worried it was going to be Buckingham, and I thought Buckingham was going to instruct Henry to go and do the stabby. Sadly, he's actually picked his own love to be the one who receives the stabby, which is so sad. I don't know. Is the Princes in the Tower still going to happen? Because it seems that we almost had it, but it didn't. So they were released and then they were taken back again, which is interesting. What purpose did that serve? Maybe it was just to warn Richard, just show the power of Lucifer as well. The anime ending could be up in the air. It could also be out of canon, because if we do not kill the princes, that's going to be completely out of canon, because they definitely do die. So anything could go, because Henry is currently alive. The princes are currently alive. We could have an open end where Richard does disappear and we don't get a confirmation on what happens. I would prefer that. I do still pine for a happy ending, but it's Shakespeare, so I'm not stupid. I know it's probably not going to happen. I like the fact that Lucifer is acting as our narrator. It's really cool. We get to see that he's basically got pawns everywhere. Lucifer is going to win this game, and he's playing the game hard, unlike Richard, who is no longer playing the game. You've lost your right-hand man. That's it. You are going to lose. It's going to be painful. I do also like the philosophical questions we start to ask, like, what is the idea of justice? Does bloodline really play any importance at the end of the day? It's really just who is popular, which I think is quite important, because you bear in mind that Henry was very popular. However, Henry at that period of time was a direct descendant of the king before. So Henry had inherited that position from his father. This is the episode. This is the episode where we start to see absolutely everybody turning on Richard. Bloodline is now a rumour everywhere. Everybody's now talking about the legitimacy, which has done nothing to dispel this theory. We are now already on that downward spiral. So we've only got 4 episodes left. You guys know we're in for a sad ending. So there's no pretenses anymore. I don't feel bad saying that. Well, in history, Richard dies on the battlefield. That could still happen. We don't know. We don't know how this anime is going to choose to do it, but I have a feeling the anime is going to do it in the most painful way it can see fit. Everybody now believing that Richard is just the demon king. Henry the assassin. That is one of the biggest deviations in this plot I really wasn't expecting. Right now, Henry, you're supposed to be dead. You're long dead. And I was really worried that Henry was going to be the one to kill the princes, but it's not the choice that is made. It would have been weird as well seeing him going to kill kids. The one thing I always predicted was that Henry and Richard were going to be face to face at the end, and they're going to either kill each other. Henry's going to kill Richard, and then we have a Romeo and Juliet situation where Henry might go, oh my goodness, I suddenly remember who you are, and then he's going to kill himself. That's probably what I see happening. It's very Shakespeare. I would not be surprised if that's the ending. Or the little tiny glimmer of hope is that he falls apart. Richard is like crying and they end up running into the forest, living in that shepherd's hut forever. And that's the ending. That would be great. I don't think we're going to get it, but that is my one true wish for the ending on this. Henry does state, you're not my king, but you're somebody my king loves. That's a weird one. Does Henry actually like Richard, like as a king? Does he actually accept Richard as his king? That would be interesting. I've got a few questions there. We are informed that Richard is not yet crowned. We are really close to the coronation, so it's going to be a very big question is, are we actually going to have the coronation happen? It does technically happen in real life. Let's see if that actually occurs in the anime. We do get a return of a recurring character, which is the witch Kate, who is coming to see what ails the king. it is also quite scary because she's killed a lot of people. People who were very close to Richard. I don't think I'd really want her anywhere near me, but yeah, I understand why you'd probably confide in a criminal like her. But the pregnancy line, not sure 50-50 because at the end of the day, if you're going to die, it really doesn't matter. But it's one of those things where I feel like this is very reminiscent of the Sansa Stark storyline in Game of Thrones because we never really knew if she was pregnant at the end of the day and it didn't really bear any resemblance on the plot. But it would have been nice to see Buckingham maybe actually reacting to that. But actually the announcement of the pregnancy has, if anything, just spurred him to just take the rejection even harder. And it's quite sad to see that that wasn't really a thing that was really played upon. So Buckingham being the dad, so sad though, so sad because it's all going to go horrifically wrong. Initially, Buckingham does leave Richard's side as well, which is really painful. And Anne this week, very, very distant at this point. Catesby really being the only person remaining. Oh man, just Catesby, Richard, please, just realise how important Catesby is. I beg you. Catesby's probably going to be the one person at the end right by your side as you're dying on the battlefield. That is the painful thing that's in my mind right now. Seeing Richard chasing Buckingham down was just like my heart going, oh no, like I really want you two together, but it's Shakespeare. I don't trust Shakespeare. Is there really ever a happy ending in any Shakespeare play? We are reminded that Buckingham, of course, was forced to marry a Woodville initially, so it's not a welcoming household. Everybody in this household doesn't like Richard. Many questions, things like how far along is Richard, all of this. I'm very impressed that Richard does tell Buckingham, so there's no more secrets. They do just come out of it and tell Buckingham, well, yeah, this is what the witch said. I don't believe it. I'm probably not pregnant, but yeah, no. And questions like, what is the medicine going to do? Because surely that medicine's going to kill you, because up until this point, whenever Kate's giving anybody medicine, it's killed them, which is quite sad. Going to the city of York, which is now setting up the final showdown. That's where Richard's going to be fighting from. But we are now seeing that very big question of Buckingham battling reason and love, and you just can't throw away the idea of love, and he ends up kidnapping. And this is such a otome game trope, this thing of there's always a character in otome games who goes a little bit obsessive, and in Mystic Messenger, for me, that's Juman, and yes, Juman was my favourite character. I love Juman. I cosplayed V at the weekend. I love Juman, and there's also that similar plot where he's kind of keeping you hostage in his house, and obviously there's a bomb plot and he's obsessive and he doesn't want anyone to hurt you, but there's always this trope in otome games where there's always one character who just really does blur the lines a little bit. You know it's wrong, but you can't stop reading or you can't stop watching, and I'm with this, and I'm like, oh, I wish you had accepted, but I know it's so wrong, I know it's toxic, I know it's bad, because you are literally chained up. And you can see Buckingham also desiring Richard to be feminine, like you're in a dress, you're gonna have that long hair, that's how I see you as feminine. This is one side of Richard, but it is love turning into obsession. Love is toxic. Love is the most dangerous weapon if used incorrectly. Again, it's the whole, what does Richard want? Does Richard really want to live in secret? Live a happy ending. It's definitely a very happy ending, but remembering that Richard believes they're a demon. They don't believe that they deserve to be happy, which is so sad. And it's the idea of, are you just going to turn away from everything and go for that thing that you've desired all your life? You've always wanted the crown to uphold your father's bloodline, which I think is supposed to also be seen as a chain, because Buckingham states that I'm not the briar in your way. Your dad is. Bloodline, your heritage is your briar. That's what's standing in your way, which is so sad. It's just selfish desires of being with the person that you absolutely love or seeing it through, which is where we do see Joan of Arc reappearing. Give you a bit of an inner monologue. But Richard chooses the crown, and this is probably the last nail in the coffin for our bad ending. We've chosen bad ending. If this is an otome game, you just chose the bad ending. If you were to stay in paradise, you probably would have achieved your good ending. But again, you know, as an otome game player, it's wrong. It's so wrong. But at the same time, it almost feels so right. It was painful. I really didn't want to see these two parting ways. I didn't want to see it come to an end because I knew it was going to end bad. And I'm just so sad seeing these two leaving and knowing that they're probably not going to see each other again because Richard's going to be dead next time Buckingham maybe sees the corpse. The priest acts as a sounding board for the public opinion of Richard III. Richard III was not seen as a kind king, somebody who would kill family and friends just to get what they want, just to see what they want, a demon of a king. Ironic that before the priest even knew who he was talking to, he even says, "You're very similar to Henry," the former king who was pious. Again, as we've spoken before in this anime, a very popular king, very loved king compared to Richard, who perhaps gone down as one of the most infamous kings in history, especially in UK history. Not a loved king in the slightest, always known as that evil king. But you have to bear in mind we are watching fiction. Shakespeare, his play is based on fiction, grains of truth. We don't actually know how much is accurate because Shakespeare is writing after these events. Shakespeare is alive 100 years after the events. So if I was to recount what happened 100 years ago, I can go by what I've learned from history books, but you weren't there, so you're not an eyewitness account. But Richard now betrayed that very painful, that last dagger going into the heart. Buckingham out for revenge, broken heart, no longer seeing straight. Buckingham now wanting to destroy the thing that he created, destroy the person you loved, destroy the person who has turned their back on you. Richard must die. And that, of course, leading to the final, Henry is going to kill Richard, which is something I was worried about right at the start. I think I must have said it last season. I feel like it could be the ultimate bad ending, that Henry's going to come back and get the revenge, because technically Richard tried to kill Henry and now we're going to have Henry killing Richard. That's going to be such a sad ending. This anime hurts, guys. It really hurts. There's no shining light. I really hope that there's a shining light at the end, but it's Shakespeare. We all know what we buckled up for. He's the guy who likes to kill off teenagers who fall in love after 3 days. So thank you guys so much for tuning in. I hope you've had a great weekend and you've got a good week ahead of you. Can't wait to see you next week, and I can't wait to share the suffering with you guys. Have a good day, guys. Bye-bye.